Poor found his calling.
It's really, really empowering to be part of something larger than yourself.
The energetic 50-year-old made it his lifelong mission to improve relationships and better communities.
I have this overwhelming sense of responsibility to lead a purpose-driven life, and to make a positive impact for myself, first of all, and for my family, and then ultimately for my community.
As executive director of New Hampshire Humanities, his impact is far-reaching. He took over the post 2 years ago and is the first African American to lead the organization. The nonprofit holds free programs around the state that uses the humanities to help people think creatively and critically in hopes of bringing people together.
This is New Hampshire Humanities. It provides context to today's most I know it sounds cliche, most pressing issues. History matters. Literature matters. It can bring something to this discussion, this debate.
Anthony credits his family for his people passion.
I knew early on that I like people more than I like things. But I think because of who I am, this product of this mixed marriage, this unique parental situation, right? All these things, that I had a unique perspective. And I had something to offer the world.
As a child living in Dayton, Ohio, Anthony never really felt accepted.
I was never, black enough for the black kids. I was never white enough for the white kids. So it was a difficult space. So I just wanted to do something to make it better for other people. And so I decided early on that I would pursue a career in social work so I could help.
His grandfather set the foundation.
He taught me everything I need to know to be a good man. About the importance of family, hard work, effort, stick-to-itiveness. As a person of color, we were raised, you got to work harder, got to be smarter, got to be stronger.
And he found good examples in his mom.
At the end of the day, she's my hero. If it wasn't for her, who knows? She's the one who worked 2 jobs and made sure I never went without. So those two.
He also picked up his mom's love of music and dance.
My mother was the disco queen of Dayton, Ohio. Yes, she was. And wears that badge proudly.
Anthony danced off with a couple of trophies himself, contest champ at a local fundraising event. And as proudly as his mom wears her disco badge, Anthony wears his tattoos. He's covered in ink, getting his first tattoo when he turned 18.
When I was a kid, my favorite show was Happy Days, right? My favorite character on Happy Days was who? The Fonz. What did the Fonz do? The Fonz rode motorcycles. What did Anthony Poor want? Motorcycles. Who rides motorcycles? People with tattoos. I like tattoos.
He's equally spirited about cooking. Many of the ingredients he uses come from his own garden.
I grow everything from zucchini and carrots, peppers, corn, squash, gosh, you name it. I've grown it this season or last.
But even his garden serves a deeper purpose.
One of the things I wanted to teach myself, which I'm not very good at, is patience. And so I thought, if I have to learn something, and patience is one of them, what's the best way? Watching stuff grow very slowly.
Always striving to improve, a recipe for Anthony's success. He moved to New Hampshire about 25 years ago for graduate school and stayed. Before New Hampshire Humanities, the father of 2 girls held several positions involved with community outreach. His civic pride is palpable as he shows off this mural on the side of the Rex Theater.
If you see here, this is what Manchester is becoming. And it's also, and this is all done by, kids, and young people. And so when I think about Manchester and what it's becoming, and I think community, when I see this, I think community.
A drawing depicting Manchester's past and future as a cohesive community, one of many across the state, Anthony is dedicated to helping strengthen. In this time of national division, he recognizes that New Hampshire Humanities, and especially him as its leader, can play a crucial role in matters of politics, economics, and race.
Most recently, we launched Black Thought, which brings the black perspectives to the humanities. And so, for example, we hosted our first pilot season a few months ago, where we talked about Juneteenth, we talked about the implications of white Jesus, we talked about, for example, the yellow fever, the pandemic of 1793, and actually how it mirrors the pandemic today.
He likes to mix the mission with a little fun. Just look at their staff photo. Everybody holding something unique to their job responsibilities. There's Anthony gripping a conductor's wand. He believes everyone, everywhere has their own superpower, some unique ability to make the world a better place.
The question is just being able to find it, and then bringing it to light, and then being able to share it with the world.